This is the height of ignorance. That this cloud is over Muslims. It's a culture to just issue, MashaAllah, Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Jazakallah, Insha'Allah. What's all of this? This doesn't make anybody anything. Most of the people don't understand what they're saying. So this Quran came for us to do what? To know that life is based on efforts. Lots of efforts. Lots of work. There is no magical word in the Quran or magical chapter in the Quran that will protect you or protect me, or that will advance our cause. This is not the Quran. This is paganism of Asia, and paganism of Africa, and paganism of the Arab world. It's not the guidance of Allah. The Quran tells us in chapter 53 verse 39, وَإِنْ لَيْسَ لِلْإِنسَانِ إِلَّا مَا سَعَى, and in 40, وَإِنَّ سَعْيَهُ سَوْفَ يُرَى. Human beings will get that which they work for. And what they are working for will soon be seen. If I work very hard to make my children educated in this worldly sense and be educated with the Quran, you believe it to God. That's what I'm going to see. But if you fail to do that with your children, then you're going to see the same thing. What you work for. We cannot see the same. Otherwise the divine system is farce. And we have to give credibility to this by believing in it and following it. We are not going to change this community by nice prayers and nice wishes and nice dua. You don't change people like that, because if that was possible, we would have changed ourselves first. We would have changed our own family. We would have changed the whole Muslim world. All the du'as every day don't help them. How many millions haven't gone on the ground? And they'll be making dua and people making dua for them. Because we believe in a false life. The life that the Quran teaches is what you want. You got to want it. You got to really want it with all your heart and all your soul and all your mind and all your might. You can't want it with the tip of your lips. Oh, I make this dua, the Prophet make this dua. This is an insult to the Prophet, an insult to the guidance. There is absolute no need to go and make a dua the Prophet made, and you and I don't have the commitment that he had. We lack the commitment. Everything we're postponing. Next week, boy, you know what? When I retire from my job, I will never abandon that Quran. I will hold on. Or when I get 50, you will see me with Quran all over me. We know this is a mockery. This doesn't take anybody anywhere. So the life of the Quran, as of Allah's message, never changed. This was the same message He gave to Moses and Jesus and Abraham, that people must work for their future. The Quran commands us through Allah's guidance how we should deal with it. We should hold on to it like we have held on to nothing before. We should hold on to the Quran like we have held on to nothing before. The Quran says in Surah Al-Imran chapter 3 verse 103, وَاعْتَصِمُوا. I'tisam means grip it. I'tisam means what? Grip it. You know, you have crazy glue, and you have gorilla glue, and you got all kinds of glue. Well, this is called hold on to it with your life. Your life depends on it. وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ. Hold on to the rope of Allah. Jami'an, all of you. Not some of you. Not 2 of you. Not 10 of you. All of you. This Arabic verb, وَاعْتَصِمُوا, includes the plural, masculine and feminine. All you men and women who want to uplift your life, hold on. Hold on like never before to the rope of Allah. Don't go out there and look for any rope from the sky. Because rope don't come out from the sky, neither is it coming from the ground. This is the figure of speech, the common bond, the guidance of Allah. وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ. And this was good enough, but Allah emphasized it. Because you and I are part of society, you and I are part of family. And if we don't worry about what's happening to our family and our neighbors and society, then we're losing focus of the message. Why is it the average Muslim every day in his ritual prayer, he says, Ihdina sirat al-mustaqim. Why doesn't he change it and say, Ihdini sirat al-mustaqim? Why does he say, oh God, show us the path of formidability, of strength, of power, of prestige, of honor, of growth, of development, of ascension and evolution? Why does he say that? Because he knows that no man is an island unto himself. No human being can live a life in society by himself or herself. He or she has to live in society. And that's why society matters. It's so important that our holiness, our relationship with Qur'an must have a direct impact on society. Otherwise we're wasting time. So the Qur'an tells everybody, hold on to the guidance of Allah, jami'a, وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا, and don't lose from it, and don't divide yourself up. Because if you divide yourself, all of you will not be able to hold on to it. And this is what exactly has happened to Muslims. Yet Muslims keep reading this Qur'an like parrots, because they feel if you read it like parrots, you get a lot of blessings. What we need to understand, that the people before the Prophet who received God's revelation through their messengers, like Jesus and Moses and Abraham, just to name a few, they interpolated the message. Muslims take pride, oh, we are different from Christians, we are different from Jews. They will teach in their universities that the Jews changed the Torah to the Talmud, which is a fact. This is an apocalyptic gospel. The Christians changed the teachings of Jesus to many other things. And the Muslims say, we have not done that. Of course, the Arabic text of the Qur'an remain. But what hasn't Muslim changed? Here is the question. It's not what Muslim changed. What hasn't Muslim changed from the book of God that allowed them to be what they're in? Not today, but for a long, long time. Especially after the Prophet passed away. Because this is the reality of nations before. And those people around the Prophet, generally speaking, except those who were staunch in their commitment to this message, they were like anybody else, who were full of smoke. Lots of cheap talk that goes up in the air, but very little action to prove its worth. And the Qur'an tells us in chapter 2, verse 79, فَوَيْلُ لِلَّذِينَ يَكْتُبُونَ الْكِتَابَ بِأَيْدِيهِمْ ثُمَّ يَقُولُونَ هَذَا مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ لِيَشْتَرُوا بِهِ ثَمَنًا قَلِيلًا فَوَيْلُ لَهُمْ مِمَّا كَتَبَتْ أَيْدِيهِمْ وَوَيْلُ لَهُمْ مِمَّا يَكْسِبُونَ. Briefly is, Allah is telling us that those people who wrote books with their own hands, and this happened after the Prophet. There is ample proof in history that the Prophet Muhammad, may God keep his memory alive for us, he told his people, لا تكتبوا عني غير القرآن. لا تكتبوا عني غير القرآن. don't write from me